Alrighty, so this will be the beginning of another update on the S13, as well as a little overview of what we've done, or what I've done, and also a little bit of event prep. I don't really have too much to do just because I've been kind of slaving over this car the last couple of weeks, and it's almost ready. I mean, I could go drive it now, like honestly, if I needed to, but there's just some other things that I want to sort out, and we'll go over those as soon as I get to the car. Alright, so first I guess we'll go over what's been done to the car since the last video, for those that care and those that don't follow me on every or any other social media, because I post about the stupid thing constantly. So let's do that. So to start off, got the rear and front matching Type 3 overs, and as you can see, I need to dial out a lot of my camber, probably all of it. Set the rear to 0, and then I think I actually need to, and you know what, that's perfect. So that one's good. I do need an alignment to fix the toe. Sold the kit just because I'm tired of fixing fiberglass, so I'm going to get a KBD one. Don't remember if I had this hood in the last video, but it's a charge speed one, I think, if I remember right. But I'm not too keen on the mural thing here, so it's going to be painted black, just like the rest of the car. What else? Like I said, the kit's gone, so the stock rear bumper, which I haven't bolted on really. And then we'll move to the interior. Right, so a lot of my recent work has been going down in the interior. I got the Valence handbrake with the 3/4 Willwood master, and then the Chase base kit that I already had for the lines. The bubble shifter, it's just the eBay one, but it feels really nice. Gives me a little more leverage, especially with the stock shifter. My trans is kind of notchy, so it makes it feel a little better. Had the brides. I finished my gauge setup. Right here. Got 2, 4, 6, 7 gauges that I had to wire up. That took forever. And then I made a delete plate because I already had the 3 gauge pod there. And then new center console, not new, but new to me, and radio surround. Then I just painted those black because they're kind of haggard looking. And let me show you the gauges when they turn on. Oh, I also relocated my battery because it was all the way under there and I couldn't really get to it, and the cover didn't want to go on because it was hitting the underside, so it's back here now. I mean, it's more back now. Here we go. Everything works as it should. I mean, the car's not on, so you can't really tell, but it does. Oh, and then this eBay tech, I need to not have the shift light hardwired because it doesn't need to do that. Should be wired to the signal wire, I think, so it knows when it's at a certain RPM, but yeah, I kind of messed that up. And then I don't know if you could hear it on here, but I also got a Walbro 255 fuel pump. I had a 255 in there before, but it was just some like Walbro knockoff, I think, so didn't really, I don't know, it was doing its job, but kind of scared me, so I just got a legit Walbro. Alright, and I don't know where I left off under the hood on my little videos, so we'll kind of just run over everything again real quick. I got the oil filter relocation on with the lines going to the cooler in the front, power steering cooler also on that side, if you can see it. Polished or aluminum, whatever you want to call it, overflow, and again SR, completely stock as far as the internals and kind of power everything goes. CX intercooler kit with the big ass intercooler that I really don't need. I mean, I need one, but not that big ass one. Adjustable fuel pressure regulator, and I think that's really it, honestly. Going for a reliability oh, the heat shield too. Going for a reliability thing with this engine because, I mean, it is an SR, so it's got to kind of be taken care of, and I don't really want to have to deal with a high horsepower or any more complicated than it already is, which it isn't really complicated, but just the fact that it scares me because it's a SR, and I've heard too many things and whatever else, but you know, whatever. Alright, so what I'm going to do today is, just until I get a real alignment, I'm going to go ahead and max out the front caster and try to get my camber, whatever, as close to 0 as I can. The front caster is because I have, I'm gonna stop doing that, 18 by 10.5, -8 wheels up in the front, and they were rubbing the inner fender well, the little lip. So, and I bashed all that in, flattened it all, whatever you want to call it. But just to give myself extra clearance and the alignment. I mean, max caster is ideal for drifting, just for self-steer characteristics. I can't talk this morning. So we're gonna do that and see how it goes. Alright, so since GK Tech decided to use the biggest adjuster thing they could, none of my little crescent wrenches are gonna do the trick, so I gotta run to Harbor Freight and pick up a wider mouth one, because the one I have is way too long, so it's hitting the gas tank when I go to turn it, and it's gonna take me an hour just to adjust that. So to save time and to just avoid it later, I'll have a wrench to do it at the track if I need to on the fly or whatever. And I still have 2 more arms to do on top of that, so yeah. A lot closer than Harbor Freight. There it is. I think that should do it. Alright. So the car's still jacked up, but you can see, I think just a little bit more, and we'll be right where, oh no, you know what? It might be good where it is. I need to fix the toe now though, because since I extended the top arm, you can't really tell on camera, but the left side of the tire is very much so inside, at least from what I can tell. I don't know, might just be the way my overs are mounted. I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna get it really aligned soon, but just for now. All right, got it to pretty much where I think I want it. When it's still up in the air too, I think it's got a bit of positive camber when it's in the air, but let's put it down and see where it's at. So this car squats a lot, not squats, but like the alignment changes a lot when I put it down, just because of how low it is, I guess. But it's closer, but it's not, yeah, it's still got another quarter inch, half inch to go. So I'm just gonna wait until I get an alignment with the new tires and stuff. All right, so since the alignment thing didn't really work out how I wanted it to, it could have, I'm not patient enough. I don't feel like dealing with it today. So gonna swap the rear subframe out for this other one I got. So this one has the PBM solid riser bushing things, whatever. And mine, with the car having 130,000 miles on the chassis or so, are toasted. So instead of swapping the bushings out, I'm just gonna swap the whole subframe and swap everything over and then be ready to go. Alright, so this is the next day, but I should have just showed this before I put it back on the ground, but maybe you can, oh yep, there you go. Solid PBM, subframe, riser, bushing things are in with the new subframe. Got the camber dialed out to where the wheels actually fit now. And let's see. On this side, it's not as good, but the toe is super bad, so, but it's good enough for me to drive on, so this will be good to go to the alignment shop on. And for those who haven't swapped a rear subframe before, it's awful. It's not hard, it just takes forever, and then with the solid bushings, everything has to line up exactly straight, otherwise it just won't go in. Ooh, can't really tell if you can see me or not. Doesn't matter, you don't need to see me. So, with the rear is done, gonna move on to the front, but probably in a different video at a different time. But this one was, with the rack relocated, cut and moved forward, and then I painted it just so it wouldn't rust. But from there, I have a couple parts on their way here that I'll make a little video installing all those, because they're like just a bunch of tedious things, not tedious, but whatever. I bought new pads for the Hydra. I bought the Project Mu D1 spec pads, and then a 2-pound Willwood residual pressure valve for the handbrake as well. One of my friends on Facebook, I forget who it is, I can put his name somewhere else, but he suggested that I get one of those just to help with holding the pressure once it's on, and then it'll make it easier to pull. So once I pull it, then it doesn't take as much pressure to pull it after it builds up the pressure, if I'm understanding it right. And then tires, I got 225, 35, 40, or no, 225, 35, 18s for the front, just to give me a little extra clearance. And then I get to get the caster dialed in so it doesn't rub on the inside. And I got a new short hub because the one I have on the car currently is one that came with the car, and it's like an eBay one. There was another thing too, and I can't remember, so let me check. Oh yeah, I also ordered new end links for the rear sway bar, and then I just looked at it. New front hubs, because mine on my car apparently are S13 hubs, and they don't spin very freely, or at all, really. So everything will be pretty much sorted after that. After that, I just need to get the KBD front and side skirts, which I'm gonna probably not today, probably tomorrow, because today's New Year's Day. So I'll probably call them tomorrow and see what's up with that, and then I need to get a new rear bumper, because right now I just have the stock rear and it keeps falling off, and I don't feel like putting the bolts to actually hold it back on, since it's going to be temporary. And then I have the stock front on that's kind of just sitting on there, but I need front and skirts before anything. The rear I'm not too concerned about, still looks okay without it. So not sure how long this video ended up being. Hope it's not too long, and I hope you stuck around till the end. I know I do a lot of talking in my videos, but like I said earlier in the video, I think on the 20th of January I'm going to an event for Slide Factory at Grange, so there'll be actual seat time and driving videos. Saw a little bit of it from the last event, but I was still getting used to the car and things were not set up right, and yeah, so we should be okay this time and should see some more progress. So thanks for watching if you stuck around. Thanks.